Hey, it's Vicky, and today I'm here to share my reading plans for the month of June. I cannot believe that the year is already almost halfway over and that we're already going into summer. It's crazy. But my reading plans for this month, the list is a little bit shorter than normal. There's a couple reasons for that, but let's get into it. So the reason my TBR for you guys is a little bit shorter is because I am doing a bit of a secret TBR that I don't want you guys to know about. So you'll find out at some point in June what I've been up to on the sly. But there are 3 books that I want you guys to know I'm reading that I'm going to share with you now. So the first book I'm planning to read in June is for the Random Reads book club that Bobby and I host over on Goodreads. And for June, we both decided to do another Stephen King reread, and we're going to be reading Dolores Claiborne. And this is one that I hold very dear because this was my first Stephen King book. And I read this book for the first, excuse you, Morgan. My dog just sneezed. I read this for the first time in 6th grade. So I was like 11 or 12, and I really enjoyed it, and it still just really sticks with me, the story and the character. And what it's about a woman named Dolores Claiborne who is working for this sort of like rich society woman in her area, and she's been working for her for decades, and her employer, this woman, dies. And so Dolores is sort of being investigated for this woman's death, because she died under suspicious, wow. She died under suspicious circumstances. And the other kind of thing is the police sort of have something against Dolores because years ago her husband disappeared and she was kind of a suspect, but they didn't have enough to like hold her or whatever. So they already kind of have like biases towards her, and then now she is in the midst of this other like mysterious death sort of thing. So yes, I remember loving Dolores as a character. I really loved this story, though again, I know like some of the details that I already know going into it. I'm like, was this appropriate for 11-year-old Vicky? I don't know. But I'm super excited to be revisiting this, and Bobby, like I said, has also already read this one. So we're excited to kind of dive back in and see how we think of it now as adults, because she also read it as like a middle schooler. So yeah, we're excited. I hope you guys will join us. The link for the Random Reads book club is down below. The next one that I'm planning to read in June is for the Buzzword reading challenge, and the buzzword for June is all. So you have to have the word all in the title. So I'm going to be reading All the Ugly and Wonderful Things by Bryn Greenwood. And this is one I've had on my TBR for a long time. And I know that this is a very polarizing book because of the subject matter, because I believe it has to do with a young girl who knows this man like as a child, and then I don't know if it's like when she's still a kid or what, but they start to have like a romantic relationship. So it's a very touchy subject because you're talking about a grown man and a young girl in a relationship, so that can be pretty icky. But I have heard so many people say that despite that, this book is like beautifully written, and the people that love it just love it. So I really think, I don't know where I'm gonna fall. I do know that I'm interested, and I definitely want to see for myself what I think of it. And I know Bobby is probably like so excited right now that I'm reading this, because I know she loved this book. So yeah, I'll let you guys know what I think of it once I get it read. And then the last book that I have on my TBR for June is one that I picked for the BookTube spin back in April. And I have until the end of June to read those books. So this is the last one that I have to read, and it's called Annie's Ghost by Steve Luxenberg. And this is a nonfiction book about Steve's mother, Beth, I think her name was, yes. Growing up in like, as he grew up and was raised by his mom, she always told him that she was an only child. And that's what like everybody knew, thought, whatever. And then when she's on her deathbed, she says something about having a sister. And it kind of piques his interest because he's like, okay, you've never mentioned a sister. And he does some digging and finds out that she did have a sister that, you know, grew up with her, because I think they were like only a couple years apart in age. But she, for whatever reason, was institutionalized. And so he kind of is diving into this sort of family secret, this family mystery, like who was, you know, his aunt and what happened to her and why was she kept a secret, you know? So this sounds really interesting. This is one that I want to say my mom got this from somebody. Like they passed it to my mom and then my mom read it and she passed it to me, and I've had it for too long, like years on my TBR. So I'm finally gonna read it. And yeah, it sounds really good. I hope it's good. All right, guys, so those are just some of my reading plans for June. Like I said, I have a little something going on behind the scenes that you guys will see later on this month. But yeah, those are the ones that I want you to know about right now. Let me know down below what you're planning to read in June, because I would love to know. If you're doing the Buzzword Reading Challenge, what book did you pick with all in the title? Yeah, and that's it. So I hope you guys have a wonderful month. I hope that June treats you well, and I will talk with you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.